I have a problem. I have 11 hard drives in my hands right now that represent the last decade of my life. Starting with this guy right here, drive number one. This hard drive, a decade old minimum, and I named it Teraboy. Back in the day when a terabyte was a really impressive amount of storage. I produce a distressingly large amount of video footage. And making a video every day about my life, over the last decade, I've produced a lot more than just this. This just represents up to about, I think, 2022, 2021, and it was about 14 terabytes. I had to buy a 20 terabyte drive just to back these up because these are the originals, like the project files, the videos, everything is on here. And if I lose them, they're gone. Because even though this hard drive is older than all of my nephews, it could fail at any point. And if it failed, it means I would lose vlogs 1 through 111, and that would be a tragedy. The sticky notes were just to keep track of whether or not I had backed them up or not. So I succeeded in backing them up. Hooray! But the thing is that I want to keep them in good condition. I could lose that hard drive, and I can't afford to set up my own media server yet. So how do I keep these in good condition? Right now they're hanging out in this little like cloth baggie, rattling around in here. It's probably not the best. In fact, I know it's not the best. So while my solution may not be hermetically sealed, I would make a little housing in which each of these could sit, at least be stable and secure and hidden away and not flopping on top of each other. Also, I've been looking to optimize my space more. And if you didn't know, I got a 3D printer last year and I've been having a lot of fun with it. For those of you that are unaware of how a 3D printer works, it's pretty straightforward. On these spindles are filaments of different types of plastic. As they get fed through these tubes into this superheated nozzle. It's like 220 degrees centigrade. And at that temperature, it's able to melt the plastic and then print it out into fine layers. So there's software that takes a 3D object and slices it into dozens of layers. And then what this does is it prints each layer individually, stacking one on top of the other. And eventually you get whatever 3D object you put on it. I've been able to print all kinds of things, like these, for example. I'm blurring it out because it's a Christmas present for a couple of friends. I realized blurring this shape specifically probably looks a little bit dirty. I swear that there's nothing suspicious going on. I'm making it worse. There's nothing I can say at this point, is there? Let's move on. A simple charging station for my phone. Chip clips of a whole variety. A toilet candle tray. A clip for Cooper's food bags so you can pour through. But I've only made a few things on my own so far. Actually, I've only made like one thing that I designed from scratch. This little guy. It's not the prettiest, obviously, but you know, I'm working on it. The idea is pretty straightforward. It's just to hang my garbage when I'm putting on my shoes or whatever I'm taking a moment to get going. Because I use these soft bags and if they fall over, which they do all the time, they make a mess in the hallway. So if I can just hang it here and then pick it up on my way out. I also did design this silver play button that I gave to my 10 longest running patrons from 2016, who basically have been around as long as that oldest hard drive. As you can tell, I've got a ways to go on my design skills. They're gonna come together, but I figured I'd share that process with you. And I figured I would start with this because you're not gonna have to see it. Like, it's gonna be hidden away. That's the whole point. I don't have to make it pretty the first time. I just have to make it work. Obviously, this required measuring out the box and each individual drive, because some of these are really thick and some of them are really thin. They could all go into a slot made for this guy, but then this one's going to be rattling around. And these are physical hard drives with mechanical parts. I don't want them rattling around. I want them to be relatively snug. So I measured every single drive. And this is when I also wish I had calipers, because while this one is like actually square, this one's got a little bit of a curvature to it. Not much. Hopefully not enough to screw me. So when I was measuring these, I actually planned for a little bit of a tolerance. They're not going to be perfectly snug in there at the moment. Hopefully this works. This guy, for whatever reason, has a lip. I'm sure I thought this was cool when I bought it, but it has like this little extra lip there, which I did cut out. And hopefully that worked. Hopefully this fits. There's so many ways in which this could not work. I designed everything in Fusion 360, which is a CAD program, a computer-aided drafting program. It's challenging, it's rewarding, but I have some really fun ideas that I think I have some stuff I want to build for Cooper. I gotta level up my game if I'm gonna make things that I'm gonna actually like show off and around. So I put this thing together, I designed it, and then I ran into a problem. No. This is a problem. The build plate is what the printer prints on. This is what it builds on, and you cannot build something that is larger than the build plate. And unfortunately, I thought about this, but I didn't double check. My little box thing here is just a little bit bigger. Thankfully, it's not the hardest problem to solve. There's a way of splitting objects in the software, and bada bing, bada boom, we've got 2 plates. So we're printing it in parts. Normally, this would cause some issues. The thing is that when you've got multiple components, they need to slot together, right? And hold together so they don't go flying apart. But because I designed this to go inside this little box, and hopefully it's gonna fit fairly snugly, it'll hold itself together with the box. The box is the joining component, the component joiner, the thing that's gonna, you get it, it should hold together. Assuming it fits. I also want to be able to store these cables. I don't need very many of them, like 3 or 4 of them at most, just to make sure that I can connect these drives, but they're like in really awkward length for this. So I tried to build a slot for them to go in on the side. It's not going to work. I already know it's not going to work, but if I can do this, like kind of like, you know, like that, maybe just kind of put them in there. I'm just trying to get a little organized, you guys. I'm just trying to make things like look half decent around here. First thing to test is whether or not it actually fits in the box. Second is going to be to test whether the drives fit in the bay. Let's find out if it worked. I mean, if it didn't work, that's fine. I'm going to iterate on it either way, but I would like it to work on the first try because I'm trying to make this video in one day. Why do I do these things to myself? All right, it's the moment of truth. Come on. So satisfying. Oh my gosh, I'm actually really nervous. It fits. I know this shouldn't be a surprise because I measured it. But there's something magical about making something digital. Like you put the numbers in, you say, I want it to be this wide in one software. You put it in another software, it spits it to this thing. And somehow it comes out exactly the size you told it to. We've passed test number 1. Test number 2 is gonna be, do the hard drives even fit in this thing? I gotta start printing the second half while we go get lunch with Sophia. We gotta go. I know I'm only halfway there and we don't know for sure if this is gonna work, but it feels so good. Like this, it feels like regaining a sense of agency. Like I can do anything. I can make anything. I can solve any problem. This is so cool. Hi. We're at the Cornichon right now for lunch. Sophia got invited to come take photos and I'm just taking advantage. This is actually the place that I had my citizenship party after my citizenship ceremony. It was very fun. Good vibes. They bring in water for poopers. They're really lovely people. This video is not about food though. We can talk about it another time. It's in my guide. You'll find it. We have to go back and see if part 2 worked or not. Thanks to Peter Macfarlane, today's Patron producer. Thank all my pages for sending me out here. This is a good day. All right, it's time for the moment of truth 2.0. Ah! I'm so excited I dropped my phone. Hold on. This is the most satisfying part. Wait for it. Oh, yeah. Okay, not moment of truth 2.0, moment of truth 1.5. Because while this one might fit in by itself, do they both fit in together? Does this work? Ah! Yeah. What is it? Final moment of truth. Do the drives actually fit in these things? Can you imagine doing all this work just have to redo it just because one drive doesn't fit or something like that? We'll find out. All right. The final moment of truth here. 1. Oh, it doesn't quite work. No, right off the bat, it's already not. 2 is a little bit too thin. Schnikey. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Oh yeah, okay, we're back in business. Oh, here we go. Round number 3. Ah, beautiful. Okay, it's a little wobbly still. I should not have given it as much tolerance as I did, but at the same time, this is an upgrade. 4, 5, in. Oh, 6. Oh yeah. 7. Oh, it has little footies. Sorry, footies. 8, 9, 10. Oh. Last but not least, Gustav, number 11. Also footies. It works. Final test. Does this like ridiculous slot that I made for the cables work? The answer is maybe. Yeah, actually. I don't really need that many of them, but you know what? When it's in the bag, it's gonna, who cares? Who cares? I'm just gonna take this guy out for a moment. Back half, front half. Ah,
That's clean. I feel successful today. This has been a great day. Good project. And just in time, I'm glad that worked because I have a doctor's appointment that I have to get to, and then the opening of an event that I'm supposed to attend tonight. And we don't have time for any more of this. I hope you enjoyed this. I actually just can't stop doing this now. Like, look at that. Look, just look how, it's